Are you an employer? If so, then you're probably well aware that one of your biggest responsibilities is taking care of payroll. Payroll not only includes paying your employees, but it's also making sure that all of the payroll forms are taken care of yearly. Now, I'm about to drop a lot of information on you guys, so I'm gonna need a quick coffee break. Come with me. Today's video is sponsored by Cometeer. Cometeer is coffee flash frozen at peak flavors to lock in freshness. It's a completely different way to enjoy coffee, but most importantly, it's absolutely delicious and convenient. Let me tell you how it works. Cometeer sends monthly shipments delivered straight to your door, saving you and me money as you get to enjoy a cup of coffee for as little as $1. A cup without sacrificing the quality of your coffee. And the coolest part is there's a new roast every month, and you can customize your order to your roast preference. You can make it into an iced coffee, which is my personal preference, or you can enjoy it warm. For a very limited time, Cometeer is offering a huge discount by using my link below. You're gonna get 50% off your first order plus free shipping. Man, clean, crisp, good coffee. Check out Cometeer right now for their best prices below. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Taxes Made Simple. I'm your host, Karlton, and in today's video, we are going to be talking all about IRS payroll forms. I'm going to break down everything and explain to you the 9 different types of payroll forms so you know exactly which ones you have to fill out, why you have to fill them out, and when you have to fill them out. Knowing this information will help you avoid getting into trouble with the IRS, but most importantly, will help save you money in the long run. So let's go ahead and dive in. What are payroll forms? Before we go over the various types of payroll forms, let's quickly discuss what payroll forms are. Payroll forms are forms that employers are required to file with the IRS and or the Social Security Administration. These forms help keep track of all of the payments that you are making to your employees throughout the year, as well as other key information. Some payroll forms are also required to be distributed to employees themselves. Employees need to be sent certain payroll forms so they can do their taxes as well. So, the Social Security Administration needs access to certain payroll taxes so they can see various information related to healthcare, taxes, etc. for your employees. Now let's go over the 9 payroll forms that I would like for you to know. There are 9 payroll forms that are most common when filing tax returns for taxpayers, and I want you to understand them. Number 1 is the W-2 form. Form W-2 is the form that reports the taxes you withheld from employee wages to the IRS in the previous calendar year. And as an employer, you're required to send a copy of Form W-2 to each and every single employee that you had during the previous calendar year by January 31st. However, you do not need to fill out and send a Form W-2 to independent contractors. You also need to send a copy of the W-2s to the Social Security Administration. The deadline for sending your W-2s to Social Security Administration is also January 31st. You should keep a copy of all of the W-2s for your employees for your records. Now, the second form I would like you to know is Form W-3. W-3 is a transmittal wage and tax statement form. Essentially, it just summarizes the information that was on the W-2 form. This makes it easier for the government agencies to understand the W-2 information provided by your business. You do not have to send this form to your employees. This form just contains information about total compensation for employees, taxes that were withheld, Medicare wages, Social Security wages, etc. But make sure when you fill this form that all the information matches the information that you put on the W-2. This form also needs to be sent to the Social Security Administration, and the deadline is also January 31st. This form can either be filled electronically or through the mail. Number 3, Form 940. Form 940 is the employer's annual unemployment tax return. Form 940 is also known as the FUTA form. On this form, you report your Federal Unemployment Tax Act liability to the IRS. The vast majority of employers need to fill this form. However, there are some exceptions. For example, if your organization qualifies for tax exempt status, you won't need to file it. You will be required to file Form 940 if your business does not qualify for tax exempt status, and if you have paid wages of at least $1,500 to any employees during the calendar year, or you had at least one employee work for 20 weeks at your company during the year. This could be part-time, full-time, or temporary, but you should withhold FUTA taxes for employee wages. Also, you only have to file Form 940 once per year to report FUTA payments. This form is due January 31st each year, and you can file it with the IRS electronically or by mail. Now, Form 4 is Form 941. This is your employer's quarterly federal tax return. This is the form that you are required to report your payroll taxes and employee wages. This form has to be filled every quarter. The purpose of this form is to report federal income and FICA taxes to the IRS. Information that you will have to provide on this form includes reported tips, federal income taxes that you had withheld, additional taxes withheld, wage employees, Social Security and Medicare taxes, as well as adjustments to Social Security and Medicare taxes. You have to fill this form every year with the IRS. There are deadlines. For quarter 1, that's April 30th. For quarter 2, that's July 31st. For quarter 3, that's October 31st. And for quarter 4, that's January 31st in the following year. All right, guys, let's go into form number 5, Form 944. Form 944 is the employer's annual federal tax return. This form is only used by smaller businesses that report their FICA taxes and federal income taxes on an annual basis instead of on a quarterly basis. The majority of businesses have to file Form 941 instead of Form 944, but if your business is on the smaller side, it might qualify to file Form 944. In order for your business to qualify, it has to have annual liabilities for Social Security tax, Medicare tax, and federal income taxes that are $1,000 or less. The due date for filing Form 944 with the IRS is January 31st. All right, guys, let's jump into form number 6, Form 1095B. 1095B is the employer health coverage form. You're required to file this form for every full-time covered employee that you have, and you're required to send a copy of the Form 1095B to both your employees and to the IRS. You have to file Form 1095B for each employee, even if you offer your employees a self-insured plan. Self-insured plans are plans that your business operates itself as opposed to buying from a health insurance company. The deadlines to send Form 1095B to your employees is January 31st. The deadline to send Form 1095B to the IRS is February 28th. So if you're going to electronically file this form with the IRS, you have to do that by March 31st. All right, let's jump into form number 7, 1094B. 1094B is the transmittal of health coverage information for the 1095 form. It just essentially summarizes the 1095B form in a similar way that the Form W3 summarizes the W2 form. You do not have to send this form to your employees. However, you will have to provide key information on this form regarding the health insurance that you provided to your employees. The deadline to file 1094B are the same as the deadlines for 1095B, which are January 1st to send to your employees and February 28th to file in the mail and March 31st to file electronically. All right, guys, let's jump into form number 8, the 1095C form. This is the employer provided health insurance offer and coverage insurance form. The purpose of this form is to give your employees the information that they need to have in regards to their healthcare coverage. It also tells employees whether or not they were covered for the last year. Your business is only required to file 1095C if it is an applicable larger employer, aka an ALE. ALEs are companies that employ at least 50 full-time employees. If your company does not qualify as an ALE, then you have to file Form 1095C for all full-time employees, regardless of what their health coverage status was the previous calendar year. The deadline for sending Form 1095C to your employees is January 31st, and the deadline for sending this form off to the IRS by mail is still going to be February 28th. If you choose to go electronic, you will have until March 31st. All right, guys, let's go over form number 9, Form 1094C. Form 1094C is the transmittal of the employer provided health insurance offer and coverage information form. This form has to be filed along with Form 1095C to the IRS if your business is required to file Form 1095C. Form 1094C summarizes the information that you provide on Form 1095C. You do not need to send this form to your employers. And the deadline to file Form 1094C, you guessed it, February 28th if you're mailing it in, and March 31st if you're going electronically. Woo! That was a lot of forms, but we made it to the end. Those are the 9 payroll forms that you need to be aware of if you are an employer. Which payroll forms you have to file will depend on the size and the nature of your business. However, you should definitely assume that you will have to file at least a couple of these forms. Filing payroll forms is not the most fun aspect of owning a business, but I guarantee you it is much more fun than dealing with a late EDD audit that comes in from the payroll department. So it is far better to stay on top of these forms. If you have any questions about which payroll forms your company has to file or which agencies they have to file those payroll forms with, or even what the deadlines are for them, please feel free to get in touch with my office below by clicking on the description. And if you're somebody that's an avid coffee fan like I am, this is Cometeer's best deal yet. Be sure to click on the link below to get 50% off your first commentator order. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video.